Today we're going to be looking at Outis' Sunshower E.G.O. This Sunshower E.G.O is a 10th level instead of the evolved that E.G.O is, but don't let that fool you, because it has a 26 base with a +7 roll, piercing damage, and attack with up 2. So a 33 roll on a 10th is maniacal. But that's not all, because before attack you gain +7 poise count. Insane. On hit you inflict 6 sinking, on hit you inflict 3 bind next turn, and on crit you trigger turn burst and inflict 3 sinking count. That's 6 potency and 3 count of sinking with a little bit of bind, with some turn burst, and gaining yourself some poise count. That is a lot. But let's see what the passive does. The passive of this E.G.O is Breath of the Hunt. After a clash you gain 2 poise potency. There's not a max on this, so you can realistically, if you're running a solo, you could get 2 poise potency, 2 poise potency. Yeah, it's gonna be really good passive, honestly. When staggered, you gain 2 protection. When recovering from the stagger, you gain 5 poise. That's also really good. This E.G.O pretty much makes yourself able to fuel poise by yourself, not even needing a poise ID. So, I mean, you can't use it all that much because it costs 2 sloth, 2 gluttony, and 1 gloom. Actually, you can spam it out quite consistently, being only 5 resources and 20 sanity. So, that's really good. Although, you become fatal to wrath, fatal to lust, and effective to sloth. So, take that as a little grain of salt. But you can definitely kind of spam this out E.G.O pretty consistently if you have the right affinities. Which, if you're spamming this E.G.O out, you might not. Now, if you crowd this E.G.O, oh my goodness. 29 with a -7 roll, attack with up 2, and piercing damage. You gain 7 poise on use, before attack I suppose, and on hit you inflict 6 sink potency, 6 rupture potency, you'll love to see rupture, and hit you gain, or inflict, you said inflict 2, 3 bind next turn. On crit you do tremor burst, and inflict 3 sinking count, and 3 rupture count on crit. That's so good. Not only are you inflicting counts of sinking and potency of sinking, but you're inflicting counts and potency of rupture, which is just so good. I love rupture. It's probably my favorite status in Limbus company. But what also makes me happy is that Outis has a pretty good drip in this, right? The awakening is honestly just really nice. I like the palette of this E.G.O, right? The white with the yellow with the green. Lovely. And the corrosion, well, she becomes a fox. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but still a very solid drip. Easily like a 9. The strength of this E.G.O, insane rolls, insane inflictions, right? You're gonna give yourself a lot of poise, deal extra damage with that, inflict status effects, do more damage with that, burst tremor. And it hits 2 enemies, so that's, or 2 parts it could, but oh no, that's really good, so that's like a 9. Yeah. 9, just because the rupture is such a good thing for damage that it's just boosted up if you got rupture. But the usefulness of this E.G.O, you're pretty much becoming a poise ID. You're inflicting sinking and sinking count and bursting tremor and giving bind next turn on your awakening, but on your corrosion you're not only inflicting 1 source of potency and count, you're inflicting 2. Sinking and rupture, you can pretty much self-fuel yourself if you corrode and then you corrode. If you corrode and you get like what, 3 E.G.O skills, oh my goodness, are you gonna be doing some lot of stuff to it. So I gotta say that's actually like a 9, right? It would be a 10 if it was like 10. No, I don't think you can get a 10 if you're like just 2 different things. Like, it's so close though. It is so very close, and I gotta say, I like this E.G.O a lot. But that's about it for this E.G.O. A very good E.G.O for sinking, for rupture, for bind, for poise. Like, what doesn't this E.G.O have except charge and bleed? Nothing. It has everything else, I would say. So, that's about it. Hope you have a good one.